Hey, it's Rob from the Bob Sphere, and I'm back. Yes, there was a long gap, I think 2, 3 weeks, and I didn't record a video. I was busy, but like I said, I'm back. If I'm consistent, we can do one every day, and we'll play a lot of catch up with the Booker videos. And yeah, we've got sound again. Woo! Okay. Mind you, probably these won't be as creative as the other ones, but it did take a lot of time to write all those things. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about Treacle Walker, which, okay, I'm going to say, just like Booth was a bit culture specific, this is very culture specific as well. I was lucky that I was brought up in Canada, and then I moved to Malta, where I live now, which were both colonies, so we were exposed to some of the culture that is in this book. This reminded me a lot of my childhood. I don't know, there's this, before I go into the plot, there's this kind of nostalgic feel about it. Like there's marbles and comics, things like that. So, what's the book about? There's this guy called, this is John, because now it's been a while. Joseph, sorry, Joe. Okay, it's about a character called Joseph, and he meets a rag and bone man called Treacle Walker. The significance in Treacle is not with the sweet, but it also means something to heal with. I found that out. Thank you, Fox Folios. I know sometimes you watch these videos as well. Right. So, Joe meets Treacle Walker, and they do an exchange. He exchanges his pajamas for this liquid that makes him see. And this makes him see in different ways. He sees through time. So I saw this as a metaphysical novel. In fact, the quote in the front, the epigraph, says, "Time is ignorance." That's by Carlo Rovelli. So he actually manages to go through time. Now, we don't know if Joe is young or old in this book. I think at the time he meets the Treacle Walker, he is actually a man boy, so I think he's a bit old. But he starts going back to his youth, and he starts consuming things of his youth, like his comics and his marbles. And then he starts to transcend time even more. He has a bad eye, but then he starts seeing in a metaphorical sense. And then he kind of meets his youth by going through a looking glass, and that's where everything's compensated. He accepts what he is, and he is free. In fact, then he stops seeing. He battles a bog monster as well, and that's basically it. So I saw this as a metaphysical novel. You could see it as something else. I saw it how youth and age combine in order to make you who you are, and by battling them you have to be your true self. But that could be completely wrong. I don't know. It's a very vague novel in that sense. I can see it putting a lot of people off. Oh, hello. Hi, Snickers. Okay, she still hasn't made an appearance in the videos yet. She's very shy, aren't you? Oh, except on Zoom calls, she always tends to parade in the front. Anyway, so it's a book with lots of layers, but it is readable. If you get past the medieval words, there's some medieval language like Harlem Barlow, if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, things like that. If you get past the medieval English, it's in some places, it's a kind of British slang that you find in comic books and things like that. I don't think it's that difficult, to be honest. It's more how you interpret it. Just don't let it defeat you. Just walk in and see what it is. Probably if you read it the second time, you see it differently. Probably read it the third time, you see it differently. That's the beauty. By the way, this is the Uffington horse as well. And that has a significance, because it's on a stone. Okay, my foray back into talking has been a bit mixed. But, oh well. I'll get better as I go along. So, Treacle Walker, Alan Garner, Booker 2022. I really like this. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is really up my alley. I love books like this. I can see this win the Goldsmiths, or at least be shortlisted for it. Will it win the Booker? I would love it to win the Booker, but I don't think it will. There's something else that may, and we'll go into that when we do the winner prediction video. Okay, that's it. Bye. See you later.